this one.
Oh, also, what is it? Ripcats using Hashishins. That's awesome. Just to see the new unit from last season in here is awesome. Just to see that. Even seeing some Retiarii from Mask Flames, which is really I love seeing the nice little different small picks compared to just a lot of the big blob picks that some people pick, like a bunch of halberdiers and camels. We even see axe raiders from a couple people, and I think I saw another unit that was pretty special that is
It's blue
different.
archers.
Yeah,
The
was it
blue
Blue
archers, but
Archers?
yeah, I think
I'm
the
not
blue
sure.
archers, the axe raiders, and the assassin are made to dive the exotics. If they want to kill the Shenji's enemy, maybe. And
Yeah.
most of the time, the assassins are very strong to kill all the alberges from
Ooh,
chevaliers.
look! You
But
said it. You called
chevaliers
it.
are banned, so we don't have some. So it's clearly for the Senji or to handicap the supply, but it's from different source. So we're gonna see what they're gonna do with this assassin.
Yeah, but you did call it. You said Odin was possibly going to push B side, which they're heavy on B side right now. So this is really interesting to see if whether they're going to try and make sure SerfSlayers, you know, maybe push on top, try and defend the top of the wall and get Trebbed a bunch. This is
If
going
you
to
look,
be a very
if you look
interesting
at the
fight.
archeries, SerfSlayer already puts a lot of archeries because they would like to destroy all the turrets from the A points. But Odin'sLegion are not planning to go to A; they plan to go to B, as you say. They put already 5 Colovrins to destroy the door on B, and they're gonna do the same move as they did against SNG last time, for the moment. But there are waits. There are a wait on the door because SerfSlayers are ready to get them.
Here we go. This is weird. All right, I like this. I like the fact that they are still pushing the towers up on A side as well, though, because that is important. You don't want to just all put your effort on one side and then that fails, and then you don't have everything else open on the other side.
And
So we
the trap
see
coming on the units, I don't think it's gonna pass. One is
it
passing.
might hit two
Two are
or three
passing.
might.
It's
Yeah.
not bad, but don't get a lot of flock. And the first rotation of terror are gonna be destroyed on the A points, but they don't destroy the terror from the middle one. But it's not patched, so I say
Another
they
Treb is
did it
coming
on
in.
purpose.
Another Treb is coming in as well. So they're trying to see if they can really focus the right side. So see, they're
We
going to try
focus on
and
the fight. They're going inside. They're gonna focus the right side of the push, and they're gonna just go on half of the team, but they are being closed on the back. But they put some grave shot to kill the SerfSlayer heroes. They don't manage to get them. The fight is pretty good for Odins at the moment because they managed to put some other traps.
they're pushing fully through, but they got to watch their back as well, though, because they could definitely get squashed here. But they're definitely going to try
They
and
would like to
rush
take
up top.
the stops. They do the same thing last time. They would like to take the stairs because if you take the fight at the stairs, you're able to put some traps at the top when the enemies are coming. But it's not very good because, as we can see, they have been catched through. They lost 2 troops useless.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
they only have about stalwarts just defending that stairs, and then it's just basically heroes. So I think personally for Odin, they're going to probably lose this big fight here. Hopefully, Odin can try and get a couple kills on the heroes here, but don't think that's going
honestly,
to happen.
I think they lose this fight, but they're gonna try to respawn on A. Maybe they're gonna try to cap the A. If you look at there is only 1 heroes from SerfSlayers on the A. There is already 3 players from Odin'sLegion going to cap this point.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good, and especially you don't want to see how the spear player is there by himself. If the chain dart was there with him, he probably could have killed that spear player just with him, with the pike. So that was almost a missed opportunity right there to kill that spear really quick.
Yes, because they won't manage to get this hay point, and we have to say it again because on CBL we get only 3 lives on each hero.
Yeah.
That means if Drayton was already dead on B, if he's dead Wino, if he die a third time, he's out of the game. And it's very very impactful on the gameplay, and it's exactly what's happened. Odin'sLegion already died 2 times.
Yeah, this is the one risky thing in terms of playing a map. Even though it's very heavy towards the attack, the wall for this map is the most important thing. And if you're trying to jump up there, trying to take out Artie or anything like that, and getting caught out, you lost a life just trying to maybe just kill one Artie. Which it's good, but they did get a siege tower, so this is going to be the big area where you're going to see SerfSlayer probably just set up a really nice point. But they have to watch out for Trebs here, which already a Trebs getting called too.
And if you look at the units trade, it's approximately a tie. There is no advantage on the unit trades, but there is more there for the hero on the Legion side because there is only 2 there from the on a SerfSlayers team, but there is already 11 dead and 1 people to 1 life. So it's very impactful because it can only make SerfSlayers win this defense. The fact that they lose less life.
Yes, yes. I wonder whether they're going to try and push the right side fully, or whether they're going to. Oh, Ruffle is calling in another treb here,
It
which
seems
they're
they're
kind
gonna
of.
try to go push the stairs at the same time they're gonna push at the turret to take to from both sides of the enemies, but it's very hard against some 40 breach.
Yeah, it seems like they're also trying to rotate a couple of people inside, below into the middle gate. So I wonder if they're going to try and do maybe a split push here. One person put their
But at
stalwarts
the gate,
already
they are
in.
clearly losing on the fight
Yeah.
because they don't get the position, and the enemy gets the
Ooh.
position with Albertis, Claymores, and some camels. They're taking some jabs. They manage to go inside, but SerfSlayers gonna wait for them. They're
Ooh,
pushing at
Caps
the turret at
coming
the
in.
same time. The cap is coming. It's
Ooh.
Ursa that have been clearly stopped very well by for Odin's. I think it was camels which stopped them.
However, if you look at the top side, Odin is pushing on top side as well. You
Yes, they're
just
winning the A point.
Yeah, definitely, because there's only, I think, Shenji's and some javelins. Yeah, Odin is definitely going to win the A side fight here.
And the fight is clearly still a tie from the unit. So it's very hard because if you don't take the point at the moment, there is no cap, and SerfSlayers is able to take some new troops at the supply, so they will be able to come again and kill the people from the gate and make all these players, some of them with only 1 life and some of them with only 1 troops. That means in the next fight, if they manage to focus the good players, they will be able to win the game, even if it's hard to win out of A or B, but they're gonna manage to take A again because the push have been cancelled.
Yeah, this is. Oh, they're coming
So
in a bit from
strange. I
behind.
think
Ooh, the
they're gonna
nice
be able
scrape
to
shot
keep
from
the A point. I don't
Ruffle. Ooh,
understand.
that was really nice there. Ruffle just did a very nice scrape shot on that guy. They might be able to come back and take a point here.
Yes, but some of those players, which were the players with 2 T5, are now with some
Three
peasants, so
units.
it's very hard. And there is a side from some SerfSlayers players. So cat going to for the Shenji of Pinchero, gonna kill them with his car. Gonna be catch or not?
I
Gonna make
just.
them lose a lot of time. There's players who
Ooh,
don't
very
have
nice
to go
trap.
from cat. But maybe they're gonna manage to take the point on A. It's a
Yeah,
win condition, but they
ooh.
have to be careful about the hero's death.
There's not that many units that Odin has here. However, it's on. Oh wait, no. Oh, the Shield Maidens are really eating the units up right there. However, another Treb's coming in, but that's gonna hit their own units. Ooh. Oh, they hit a little bit of the stalwarts there. Oh, that nice little hit in the back. They're clearing up heroes right now, and I think SerfSlayers have been
Hopefully,
able to
they're
clear
gonna
up the
manage
top side.
to get them. Because of I think because of the hero's death, we can see there is already some of the player of Odin's died 3 times. So if we press tab and we move with the J, we can see there is some people died already 3 times. There is a
Oh
Pintero,
wow.
Hurricane, Luco Strel. They already died 3 times. That means there is no more players, so it's
No
finished.
more
Even if there is
players.
a lot of troops again for still a lot of troops, it's finished for Odin'sLegion. And well played to SerfSlayers that managed to defend the points. As we said, on this map, you only can defend the AUB. If you manage to get to do it, it's fine. But you don't want to go on C on final. So SerfSlayers managed to defend A or B very well. Well played to them.
Very
It's
very
clearly a win.
nicely.
There is no way they're gonna lose this game. No.
I think for sure some of the Trebs, I know for a fact some of the people on Odin definitely wish like their Treb was maybe timed a bit better. There was a couple missed Trebs for sure when they probably could have been used on certain moments like this of their fights and everything. Um, you gotta give it to SerfSlayers on how they did rotate more or less, and you can see from their knowledge they did know that uh, Odin's Legion was gonna do a B push. So I got to give SerfSlayers credit for the fact that they did try and do it here, but they're gonna cap A. Oh, they capped A. That was amazing.
They're gonna cap it for the honor, but a lot of them
Yeah,
already died, so it
I
will be
know.
very difficult to get the game because there is Deuterio that died 3 times for SerfSlayers too, but and Ripcat is dead 3 times too. So there is maybe a role they're gonna do something. 1, 2, 3. We got 4 players out for Enzins against 2 players out for SerfSlayers.
This can go down to the wire right here, and it might be very dependent, more or less, actually on heroes and getting the kills than more or less the units here.
Yes, because a lot of them are dead for a long time ago, so that means that SerfSlayers managed to take the advantage of the units, even if it was really a tie for the units to trade at the beginning. But if SerfSlayers was focusing on the heroes, I think it's just right, because you don't want them to be able to go to C, as we said. And if they are not 15 to push, it's a big advantage.
Yeah, the big problem here is that they don't really have time. They should okay, wait, I was about to say someone should be going to B. Um, this is really going to be interesting. I love seeing halberdier sergeants being used in this tournament as well, because they they used to be such an underwhelming unit, and now the fact that they're in a tournament, being used to be very good against countering infantry and camels and all every other cav that comes in is really really nice to see, and even seeing the camels in the fight is just awesome. All
And
right.
he's gonna try to push on the C point. They still got 17 archery against 2 archery for SerfSlayers put 2 cannons to fire on the units because they would like to finish all the units of the Odin'sLegion, because they got the units advantage now. So now it's an advantage. I don't know if it's already 9. A lot of the Odin'sLegion died again. 3,
Oh,
4.
I don't
I say
know.
yes, it's 9 against 13, so there is no way Odin'sLegion managed to do something if
Oh,
SerfSlayers
you
don't
see
end the
the
game.
the cav is coming from behind, but you see the camels, ruffles, camels holding in
I
there.
think they can avoid the camel from Ruffle.
Yeah, just almost.
But Wolf are gonna watch for the back, but they're gonna lose the front, because
Yeah, the front side
13
is.
against 9, and there is a lot of peasant on the bush. So
Yeah, this is going to be.
maybe we went too early the end of the game, because we spoiled a little bit, but it was already finished at the moment. They lost a lot of heroes 3 times.
That was I got to give it to Odin. That was an amazing try, from start to finish right here for this first match. Um, they did have good pushes. I think at certain moments they kind of spread a bit too far, especially in the early game when I saw that when they first pushed the B gate, they kind of got squashed immediately and lost all their units, and not letting them being able to maybe hold a couple of units and actually capture B. Um, I think was a big part in the beginning that may have changed the game if they actually did cap B.
No, I'm thinking about what I said, and SerfSlayers are attacking the next game, and they're attacking Reginopolis. That means there is a way we get a 3-0 if they win the boss of the next attacks. And it's supposed to be attack side the map. So I hope the Legion manage to get at least 1 point, because I don't want them to be 2-0. But it will be hard
Yeah.
to get the
No,
defense
no,
of the
I
next
would
match.
definitely want it not to be 2-0 either, because you want to go for another match, you know what I mean? But I think these tenant farmers, if they can kill Roxer here or Robert, that would be very impressive. Oh, no, it's just not going to go well.
Not enough peasant.
I think the peasants needed high tier 5 doctrines in order to kill to kill them.
Yes, there is no doctrine in CBL, so
I know
they are
there's no
useless.
doctrines, so it's useless.
They would like
Oh
to start,
man.
they would like to get all the kills.
Oh, let's see if Dan can survive. Okay, forget about it.
And there is a survivor from the team.
Very, very nice play from both teams. Honestly, very nice play from both teams. The first match.
Clearly, we will be able to analyze what they try to do. There was a lot of IDs, but sometimes they lose some units because SerfSlayers were very fast, so they managed to catch some units and take back the advantage, because Odin'sLegion take good fights, take advantage, but they lose them at the ends of fight each time, because SerfSlayers come back each time and get good rotation on the fight.
I think something I just noticed as well was that 17 RD pieces were left to be used on Odin'sLegion's side, which is a huge thing. I saw 2 grape shots and everything, and it just wasn't really used, and that's about it.
It is definitely a
Like,
rough start for Odin's Legion, especially considering that they picked Sun City, so they choose to attack. So you could expect them having an advantage or perhaps better tactic for this step of the game. Do you think they can come back from this?
we're gonna
Uh,
see, but it's very hard, but everything is possible in CBL, I think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think for sure Odin needs to. I mean, they're definitely going to use more Artie the next time. But
Mhm.
seeing that Artie, not Artie being used in the first attack is huge because grape shots would have definitely been able to clear out A point or B point, however else they wanted to really do it when they were pushing.
Mhm.
Um, and seeing the stats here is absolutely amazing. 9 hero kills for Mass Flame. He's doing this thing, killing the heroes, and even Robert being the MVP here with 102 unit kills. Definitely looking at all the support kills, the damage taken, and everything. It's impressive. He also killed 12 Senjis, so he was the one probably diving in and killing their Senjis.
Yeah, you talked about artillery, and I think that that's a fair point to discuss quickly. So we have a lot of players wondering like what's exactly what makes a good team, a good competitive team, especially in the CBL. So it doesn't do everything, but it's true that working training, especially on artillery placement positioning, is extremely important for this type of game. Like knowing exactly what type of artillery piece you have to use in which exact spot so that you can bombard the enemy position. It is perhaps as much important as
That can be a big turning point. Um, Especially, I don't know if you guys saw when Ruffle did it. He was using 2 grape shots himself, and he was able to catch a couple of heroes that were trying to come from behind on A. So it was really nice to see that.
Yes, Lily. When you manage to put the right Tauros, I think it's the best one to be able to fight on A because you are the further of the supplies as you can. You are very far from the supplier enemy, so they get more distance. Because if you put the other 2 Tauros, they're very far. They're very near of you with the supply. They can come back very fast. But the right side is very good, and you can put a lot of archeries. And I don't understand why they don't put more archery on the A push from the right tower because it's clearly the best tower to push on A
Oh,
because
100%.
you can manage to put a lot of archery and set up and put some traps as the bitches did it on games apes games they put archery they set up on the right side of the wall and they just grab on A and you can get all the rotation of unit of the enemy and they didn't do it. It's a little bit side. The fight on A, I don't really understand it. Maybe it wasn't on the strat. Maybe the strat was to take the B at the beginning and it's failed, so it
But it
was a
seems like
little bit earlier.
SerfSlayers is going to be doing the same strategy, if anything, this time. And enough on Odin's side, it's actually they are heavily more on A than they are on B. So I'm assuming Odin's going to start to rotate over, if anything, eventually.
Then this Legion start to put some cool event to destroy the tower. On this map, you don't want the tower to reach because it's very difficult to defend the point. If it's only one tower, it's defendable, but if there is a lot, you can be sandwiched, as we say in French, on the wall, and you can be pushed from 2 sides. So it's very difficult to manage the patch. So Odin's Legion start destroying the towers. They're gonna manage, I think, to destroy the first rotation. They maybe miss an archery on the middle one. I think it's not maybe expected to be destroyed, but I think Cersei
Ooh,
wants this one to reach because they are destroying coloring with
yeah,
crabs.
that. Ooh, if that Treb, the Treb missed the the other culverin that was right next to it. That tower sadly will not be making it, which is understandable.
And the interesting part of pushing at the gate, as has been done at the last game, is that you can enter without the siege tower because you're not able to put some of your units on the ladders because you're sure they're gonna die before going up of the wall. So you have
Hmm.
to manage to you want to push on the gate because you're not able to reach with the towers because it's very easy to destroy the towers on this map with the culverins. And we
This
see you
is
only get 8 minutes. After you manage to do it very well because this they don't get a lot of towers. They only get one siege tower, and so they're
and
starting to go on B the gate.
So I wonder what's because they don't fully have the right side set up, and I'm hoping SerfSlayers can kind of react here in time before they notice, because the right hand side of the gate right now is pretty empty. They can easily go around and maybe fight on top of that side instead. They got to be careful of the grape shot. Ooh, Roxer might be. Yep, Roxer is dead here. That was a very close one, but that grape shot was very cheeky.
One of the impacts of the ban myrmidons on the two games, even of unusual police. Its myrmidons allow you to open some units that are on the ground, like alberges, modao, camels, or stalwarts. But from what we saw in a lot of other games, when you had a stalwarts, a fortibratio, and alberges set at the point, you don't want to go inside of it. If you don't have myrmidons, it's very, very bad trade for you.
Wait. So are you seeing they quickly rotated?
They're going on A,
fake,
they're going to take the stair from the right side, maybe?
And non-contested as well. So this is basically just a fight on top of the wall. They almost had the siege tower up, which would have been great, but that other tower would definitely, I think, land here. But this is going to be the great point here of fighting more or less on the stairs. They got to be careful with that little blob area in terms of where ZX is, because and they're using mortars.
Very
that
interesting
mortar shot
from
went over.
SerfSlayers. They managed to take position. They want to settle here and use some mortars. The interesting part of this position is that if the Odin'sLegion cannot defend the top, because if you're on the wall, you're able to take some traps on your head, so you can do nothing from the wall on A. That means there is only players waiting on B. I don't know what Odins are supposed to do. If they can catch some heroes, they must do it. I think they have to wait without taking a lot of damage on the units, because there will be a big patch from SerfSlayers.
After you have to be careful here. There's halberdier sergeants.
Don't go in the trap of SerfSlayers. Right now, closing is Slimmers here. It's very sad.
Uh-oh.
They're gonna try to fight them. They're gonna take the fight. Okay.
Okay, they're trying to push from both sides. This is gonna be interesting here.
And clearly, on this fight, Odin'sLegion get an advantage. They get a supply very, very, very near of them.
Okay, so
SerfSlayers is trying to go to this stair, because, as we saw before, if you go to the stair, you manage to go at the top, you'll be able to trap the enemy on the top, and it will be very hard to take the position back. And SerfSlayers will manage to take the position because Odin's commit on the position. I don't know why Odin'sLegion make it, because if you rush them, they will just move and they will just take the position at the top, and you're gonna lose the advantage of A. But they're catching a lot of units right now. It's a very good move from Odin'sLegion, moving very fast, catching most of the units of SerfSlayers push.
No. Ho is dying with his men on the stairs. He's trying his best to keep them busy, which is very nice. I love when, players do that, where they try and just keep players busy and just staying, distracted. Because now this allows for SerfSlayers to more or less set up.
And here misplaying a lot, because you don't want to take the position, because there's an advantage from SerfSlayer, and if you go, you can be trapped a lot. He just lost Modao clearly free, and Assad doing the same thing, clearly committing is Calmos. The problem is you don't want to lose the A or on B or for Odin'sLegion, because it's clearly hard to defend on C on final. But they are trying to take back the position, but SerfSlayers managed to put some alberties and all the units at the top, and they are clearly free killing all the units of Odin'sLegion. And Odin'sLegion don't want to lose the A, and they're clearly losing all the advantage they took.
Do you see the trap coming in? Ooh, this might be a big trap. Oh, the trap versus Odin trying to come in to save A point. Ooh, that was deadly for sure.
It's very sad, because Odin'sLegion managed to get a good advantage during the first fight, because they run a lot. They lose the position because they take the position. They rush SerfSlayers and take troops advantage. But they clearly commit all the advantage right now, giving all the troops at the top. Under the traps, they lose more units than they get 125 advantage, and they lost all the advantage right now. It's clearly even on the troops, but it's on C and final, so it will be very hard to defend for Odin's. They try to manage to defend the supply right now, because it's a good position. If you lose the supply, it's very hard to defend the map.
It was insane, because Ribcat sadly... Oh, Story's coming in with the Hussar charge against all of the stalwarts. Ooh, that was a clean charge. However, the Hussars are all going to be dying here, but this is going to give them the opportunity to hopefully come and take the supply right now. They do need to watch from the Hussars coming from the backside as well.
Yes, and clearly here from SerfSlayer side, you would like to put some archers to win this fight because it's not a good. It's very hard without Myrmidons to go inside all these units on the ground. They're waiting for you, and you have to move them.
Yeah, and definitely I think this is the moment where maybe they should start building a couple artilleries. We see one grape shot down. However, they need to be winning and holding this spot here, or else they're gonna have to reset up. There's Shenji's coming in, there's archers coming in, camels coming in. I wonder if Odin's gonna fully push them through here to make sure they can kind of maybe secure a couple of kills here.
Honestly, I don't understand the choice on this game. Odin'sLegion rushing Odins is good because they take triple advantage on the fight. After they commit a lot of units for nothing on A, so they lose their advantage. And after SerfSlayers can just try to go on C and do a clean push and trap the Odin'sLegion from the back, but they try to fight on the supply, even with all the units that can keep the position. With the bans on this game, is why the map is defendable at the moment. It's Alberties, Stalwarts, Portable Ratio, Camels. If they are all the same position, it's impossible to move them. You only get some changes to move, and it don't make enough damage because it splits between the units.
And this is one of the key reasons why, for example, banning, Zakillian militia is so huge because the use of so many camels, Zakillian militia can open that up. These blob fights and everything. This goes to show how important it is in terms of units being banned, and the choice of not banning certain units, kind of like Shenji. So very very interesting seeing here how a unit or two being banned can really just change the entire fight here. Oh, we see. Oh, I swear, Chain Dart is just crazy when it comes to what they want to do.
Some SerfSlayer hinting his life.
Yeah, that was he jumped down, but then all the units spawned, and it was like, oh no, and then all the other Chain Darts
SerfSlayer
came.
really have to be careful. They don't want to be overconfident because as we saw, the rush supply it was a really bad call. Now they are going very smart. They put some archery, they're putting a lot of ballista to try to keep some heroes with it or units. They're gonna put some archery, and if you go on C, they can't defend the supply because they have to defend the point, and you can trap them. So the push on the supply were well useless, and she gave back another advantage from Odin's maybe to make the game a little bit more intense, but. Odin's made the same mistake before going on A and trying to gate it back, even if SerfSlayer was set up. We saw on the game on Reginopolis last time, SerfSlayer managed to go on the final and they set up instantly in 3 seconds. And when SerfSlayer is on a point, it's impossible to move them with this kind of composition. And Odin'sLegion trying to go. And we saw if you want to fight, if the position is already taken, you lose the fight. You clearly lose the fight because it's for the Warrior Star Wars Albertis, it's lost. They are losing a lot of units right now, and they have been back from 2 Dagger Axe, and the Dagger Axe charges are destroying all the Odin'sLegion, and the fight is clearly at the advantage of SerfSlayer. It's very, very bad fight for Odin'sLegion
you see
right now.
the double use of grape shots as well back there, double Shenjis, even archers back there as well. We're able to clear everything.
It's perfect setup from SerfSlayer. You can do nothing to move them.
Yeah, this is, I believe this is basically over. They can basically take C and immediately rush home and know that they're not going to be able to defend it.
If you look at the units differences right now, you get more than 100 on 80 G4 differences. That means there are 6 troops dead more for Odin's. That means they clearly lose the game right now. It's finished. It will be a 2-0 and well played for SerfSlayer to manage to do 2-0, and it will be very hard for Odin'sLegion to defend on Reginopolis because it's one of the most excited map of the 3 maps pool. The pool of the map.
Most definitely. And look at the amounts of grave shots being used at home. I think everybody knows how ranked is played, and we know how tournaments are played when it comes to grave shots being put at home. You guys can clearly see that it's just over, and we got to give it to Odin for their efforts in both matches. However, SerfSlayer really came over the top on this one.
Yes, clearly. We saw like the last matches, even if against big teams like Odin'sLegion, SerfSlayer managed to get very strong position. When they are set up in the position, you can't depart them in attack because they just set up Alberti, Star Wars, everything, and it's impossible to move them away.
This game was an emotional roller coaster. Like really, really. I was like, first SerfSlayers, okay, they're winning now. Oh no, they're losing now. Oh, Odin's prevailing. Okay, and no, Odin's losing. I swear, for during 5 minutes, I really couldn't know who had the advantage during the game, and that's really unfortunate. That ultimately, like Odin'sLegion did some mistake that cost us the game. Because as you said, like at the very end of the game, like now, if they want to stay longer in the CBL, they will have to win the defense on Reginopolis, and good luck for that, because not only is the map quite attack-sided, but also they are facing current CBL winners, so SerfSlayers. So yeah, this third match will be extremely difficult and crucial for them.
Almost definitely.
And be very hard for them. If you look at the trades, you can see that it's at the advantage of SerfSlayers, because all the time the setup, you can see that they lose if you advance out of post-battle analysis and you move for the graph. You can see that when SerfSlayers put the setup, they get nearly a little bit of advantage for them still, because they kill more units for Odin's, because some of them were at the top of A. They have been crushed, and really it's a big interest. But if you lose this supply, it's impossible to defend on C.
We're seeing almost 4 muskets as well coming from the defensive side. So I think they're definitely going to be using their musket bombs to try and obviously focus on destroying mortars and trying to constantly harass and maybe slow pushes that are going to try and come from SerfSlayer.
Yes, and I think this is exactly it. You can destroy the archery, and there is a very tricky part. It's slowing the enemy pushing at the beginning. If it's defending on the sea, we can develop more, because we're gonna see the position. But there is a stair. You have to go from the front of the sea. If you know what I'm talking about, we're gonna see in the game. And if you put some clap traps, one behind the other one, you can make a little train, and it's slow completely the enemy push, because the engine have to go on the front, but the engine will be clearly very slow, and it allows you to go out of the tower and take back the position before the enemy go and take the position on the point.
Yeah,
It's a trick on this point defense.
I can only imagine if we were having a tournament of just Blue Era only, where the tournament would probably be 15 muskets just constantly.
Oh no, I don't think so. More are very strong too, but with the new Forge, I don't know if you look at the new Forge system, or from the season 15, you can have insane stats. I don't know if it will stay as the same thing, but I get some muskets on the PTR with plus 600 damage on perform. So it's insane. Yeah. So maybe it will be full muskets for G3.
I think 100% that's not going to be allowed in the tournament, you know.
Clearly, we see there are the supply. That means they're gonna try to defend against the C position.
Yeah, this is
maybe during the phase of this game, because original police is very slow, because we get AAB always dropped. So that means there is like 20 minutes in the game.
20 minutes, yeah,
and, because sometimes they drop the C. So you get the time. There is a lot of artillery fast, so you have the time to talk to you. And why we don't defend the AOB is because you're under traps. There is a lot of influence. You get 2 points to defend, so the attackers can force you to move, and you don't want to make the movement. You want them to come to you when you're defending. Is what they're gonna do from Odin'sLegion. If you look at the tower of C, you can see there is a lot of units inside of it from Odin's. It's to hide from the enemy archery. They want to hide from the mortars, and they don't want to lose the back supply too. One of the mistakes of Odin's is last time they lose the back supply, and if you lose the back supply behind the C points, you're losing this defense. There is no way to defend without this back supply. And SerfSlayers right now are taking the information. They're going on the right, on the left. They're looking what units they got, what is the setup, and they're gonna manage to make the choice of the movement.
What we could see possibly of SerfSlayers doing it is what they kind of did with the last game. We're seeing how Odin kind of reacted very slow to their push, and then just immediately redirected their push and went the other way. So I wonder whether they will try that this time and maybe fake like they're going to go to the supply and then immediately rush up the stairs, or anything after like a wall's destroyed or anything like that to see if
I
they can
think
get a better push.
at least it's slightly the idea of SerfSlayer rated, but if you want to do it, you have to take the position. You don't want to leave them space inside of the push. The fight here will be mostly won by the man taking the position on the C point. If you let them enter, or if you crush them at the entries instantly. We're gonna see what they're gonna do. There is some dagger axe waiting for SerfSlayers maybe to push the supply. We're gonna see if it's for C-off or it's for supply. And I hope Odin'sLegion will not mistake as they did last time. They will not forget to put the clap trap to slow. But they put some clap traps for nothing. I really think they missed something with picking the little train to slow the SerfSlayer. Because if you don't do it, SerfSlayer will be able to do as you say. They're gonna be able to push on C. And before you take the position, they will be on the point. So you're gonna lose the position. It will be very hard to take the fight.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because the thing
And
is as
SerfSlayer
well right
advancing
now
with
is,
the wall.
yeah.
The wall is
Oh.
the slowest unit. Maybe they're gonna try to take the position at the back, going from
Yeah.
the bridge to take some mortars. It's a position we saw. This defense have been made by Nobichis, and I think it's Zoo against Nobichis. It was Zoo or not? I don't remember the team against Nobichis. But they take the supply on the back, like SerfSlayer is doing right now, and they put a lot of archeries to shoot from the back and not from the front of the enemies.
Because then this can also allow for the fact of a bit safer position for their artillery as well, for them to get better angles and clear out the door. Also, Trebs coming in, knowing the fact that they have to protect that door. The Trebs are honestly amazing when it comes to hitting that door. So this is going to be very interesting.
When you go at the back, as you said, you get better angle because you can put some ballista that can shoot the heroes. If you're punching some mortars that you can see from Odin'sLegion setup, there is only 2 imp walls that are outside because you have to put them at the front. They are very slow, so you want them to be at the position at the beginning of the fight. So they cannot put them inside the tower because it's too slow to put them at on the fight. And the Ripcat dying from a hurricane, well played to them. I think it's archery, no? I don't see him dying.
I don't know where he died. I don't know.
It's Ripcat maybe he was trying to sneak on the supply thing.
Most likely.
But as you said, there is 2 parts of this position. The weakness is that if you're fighting from circular point and you're dying with your heroes, your unit is gonna retreat inside of the enemy because they're gonna go on the C point and all die. So you don't want to die with your hero. You want to go on the supply, taking new units and come back with some calves and other stuff. But you get the advantage of the angle. You see, there is blue ballista. If they manage to kill some heroes or some units, it's a big advantage for them.
100%, especially if you can hit any important units that people aren't paying attention, like Shenjis or Varangians is a really huge value for you being able to kill them with just a ballista. So
Usually from the attacker side, you get like 30 archery. If you get 15 shot in your blue ballista. If you manage to do all the shot, it's 2 kill by shot, so you can kill 30 units. You can kill a whole unit from the enemy without fighting.
That's
so
amazing.
It's very strong. Not even have to shoot at the heroes. Even killing units is worse.
You know what I wonder? So you know how the new artillery is coming in. I forgot whether it was if the mortars can actually get those shots. If they were able to see that, and if the mortars were able to get the shot on that mortar as well in the back right corner, they would able to hit, a mortar and Shenji's right here. Which 2 mortar shots just came in, perfect on the spot, and they're starting to move up.
Be careful because Senji is taking a lot of damage with this mortar.
Yeah.
Senji is dying right now. Shenji are dying from Dan. And then move your Shenji, please.
Move your Shenji, no.
Dan, not like it. Not for the last one.
Oh, another shit.
And they're gonna move right now. They're gonna engage the fight because they put some traps. I think they are starting moving right now. They're gonna take the position on the C points, but you cannot fight them because there is a traps. It's a very hard position right now, as you said. You get better hunger even for traps because if you set up on C, Odins cannot come and fight.
What I do like is that in the front side is okay.
And Mbappe.
the sneakiness of the dual blade and chain darts.
Yeah, he died.
You almost got wow. I will say this: you gotta love the fact of like you're seeing SerfSlayers. Like if you're looking at all of the mortar positions that they all have right now, You know, they have almost 5-6 mortars in the back. You got 2-3 mortars in the front side. Amazing artillery barrage, and they know they have the time they can do this. Do you know what I mean? They know they can barrage and barrage and barrage and just waste all the shots here on trying to kill units and get the most value out of the mortars being placed. It's a awesome strategy that we're seeing here by SerfSlayers.
Clearly, you get a lot of time. You want to finish your wall mortars, take all your shots. Even if the position is very good to avoid archery, you see they lose like 4 Shenji only. They don't lose a lot of units because there is nothing out of the tower right now. It's the big point of this defense. And dying.
Oh, dying! No.
No, say yes because we want to see all the matches.
It seems like okay. So it seems like they're going to be trying to do. I really wonder how SerfSlayers are going to try and push in through here.
I think he's gonna try to put a setup and traps. But the weakness of what they are doing right now, if Odin'sLegion decide to push at the front, they can kill all the units at the front and win the fight while doing it. So
I know this is something. I know it's something sneaky, but if you actually can see, Ribcats is waiting with this Hashashin, waiting to go into the tunnel. I've always loved the tunnels on this map. And the fact that he's waiting to maybe get off a sneak attack in the back, knowing that they're fast, knowing that they can maybe come from behind and kill the Shenjis on a big push. Is always something to kind of watch out for when
it's learning that for the Shenji. I think it's because for this defense, the win condition of this defense is the supply. If you lose the supply of this defense, you're all gonna die because you cannot take all the units and you cannot refill and get a better rotation from the enemy because you got supplies too. The supply is very near. It's the biggest strong point with the fight that you cannot be very weak against archery. It's that this supply is near. If you are able to go on the supply with your hero, you can take your units. And SerfSlayers starting to push. And the Acharin, I think, it's for anti-cap the supply to avoid Odin's to take the supply to take new units.
And the Trebs are already coming in as well.
They're going to fall. And exactly as you say, they're gonna take the position and put some mortars. And the team gonna win this fight is the team putting the more archery, I think. That's the Dagger Axe going from the front right now. The Dagger Axe going from SerfSlayers on the side. They're winning the push on C, but they're not winning on the little gate and not winning on the front gate right now.
As we can see, grape shots are going everywhere at the moment.
Ribcat with Ashashino against Earlier, you can move and you're gonna die maybe on the supply because they lose this supply. If they don't get the supplies, they cannot take new units. And if SerfSlayers manage to close the gates from the supplies, they're gonna be
look at the fact of how many players are just chasing Ribcats right now. It's 4 players
a lot of times right now.
Yeah.
And they're gonna take new units, so that means the defense can hold. They can hold with this defense because of this supply, but the time the Ribcat makes this team runs allows them to take new units from the supply and they're gonna try to charge with some Yusas, Valkyries, and Carmels, and other Albatis coming from the other side. But at the moment, the fight is clearly at the advantage of Odin'sLegion for the moment.
And the big thing as well is that it's spawning in, as we can see, he's more or less stuck. He can't go whether on that other side or this side because these are basically just free unit kills. It's almost like spawn killing. You just want to make sure not to die, like you said, because you have to spawn.
You have to be careful when you spawn or when you're a defender. Maybe with the pressure of the purge, they don't manage to take the information. They don't want to come back. And the difficulty for the defenders, it's all this grab shot and the musket have to destroy all of them because if your hero come inside, it's very nice. They destroy all the grab shot on the point and very, very good job from the musket from Odin'sLegion right now. And the advantage is from Odin'sLegion because they got 135 advantage, but the map is still attack sided for the moment. So you can see there is only the good point is there is only 7 archery for SerfSlayers.
And it seems like they're trying to do a mini push here, maybe to try and maybe pressure both sides. We see Cav coming in from the sides, coming in with halberdier charges. They need to use Trebs here. That is a huge Treb from Turbo if it hits.
Yeah, this Treb's gonna make a lot of damage. It will be very painful.
Oh my goodness!
And the push from the front gate is going through. SerfSlayers managed to go on the front gates and go to this grab shot. When I will get to shoot with them.
Oh, the Hussars!
And the Hussars coming, and SerfSlayers managed to take position.
Oh, the Cav is just dominating right now. Oh, this
And
is
at this
so
moment, it's a
beautiful.
strategy. It's a strategy of Odin'sLegion. They don't want to lose this year. They're gonna come back with some cataphracts. They're gonna try to take back the position. But
Oh,
against
yes, yes.
SerfSlayers, this strategy will be very, very
Very,
difficult
very
because
hard.
against
Oh, look,
SerfSlayers,
oh,
they're just gonna set up all body stalwarts and close the gate, and
yep.
you're gonna
And
see
that's
that the
it.
cav
Just like you said.
just dying.
Yep,
Deja
the
Vu's
cav is.
dying for nothing
Hey,
right
I
now. And the
wouldn't.
cataphracts
I
is gonna do
wouldn't even
nothing.
waste the cav here. Don't waste the cav.
But it's a strat, they try to do it, and you can see there's some players stuck at the supply, closing at the gates, they're not able to move right now.
That was incredible how it turned from just
And such
waiting
takes
to then
advantage even on the
immediate.
units.
Yeah, that was
Oh
an
my god.
insane immediate push. It was ridiculous. And now you think
if you
about
look
it,
at now, they're gonna just do as they did at the last match. SerfSlayers gonna take the position at the finals. They're gonna try to do it and close all the entry. But Odin'sLegion are spawning right now with new units, but a lot of them are already with T1 units because they
units, yeah.
they don't have other units, so it will be very hard. But one of the good advantage gets Odin's, it's SerfSlayers get only 5 archeries left, and they get 4, so that means it will be a battle of grab shot. If they can put some good grab shot from Odin's, there is a way for them to win, but it will be very hard right now.
Yeah, grape shots are going to be the big thing here. Odin still has some Shinjis, which are really, really good for the big blob fights, but the fact that a lot of players are only going to have to be using scrap units like Village Watchmen, etc. This is going to really be a factor for SerfSlayers, I think.
Honestly, I've got a bad news. I'm looking at the units, and SerfSlayers get a lot of camels, a lot of fuchsias, and if you look at the number of units, they get more units. But if it's camel, it's only 12 in units. Fuchsia, it's only 18. That means they are very, very more influence still on the fight because there is a lot of infantry on Odin'sLegion side. It will be very difficult for them to hold, and they're gonna push from the front. But the last archery is gonna put some ballista to take position and grab shot. They're gonna, I think, they're gonna be able to clean that.
Another big thing is that there's still 10 trebs. They still have 10 trebs that they can use to their advantage to maybe hit the home point itself. To hit the corner. You got to be careful with this because they still have a lot of trebs left that they can still spam. Especially putting arty like that ballista. You never know if it can be destroyed as well.
And Odin'sLegion takes position on the side, but the trap on this position itself, so they can just go on the point and set up, but it's not what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to push under
they're pushing both sides.
the building, and they are pushing both sides. We gotta go near the
Shinjis are gonna be big here. Come on.
clearly winning this fight right now.
I don't know. Unless they can kill some heroes. Odin's killing heroes.
It's winning for SerfSlayers, but the Ursa will go from SerfSlayers, but it will be very hard for them. They're gonna do nothing.
Not the
and very
Shinjis.
come back from Odin's from this Yusen. And Ursa from the back. Stopped by Reinaug saving from the Ursa, but Odin'sLegion starting to die because of the grab shot right now.
Yeah, no more artillery. No more artillery for almost both sides. There's only one left. This is really going to come down to, heroes and units dying on the point right now. Which, I will say this, those Halberdier Sergeants are definitely going to do work versus all those low-tier units and heroes.
Bad news for Odin, there is already Vetom and Drayton already died 3 times, so that means there are 13 against 15 for the rest of the match right now.
Oh, man. I will say Odin...
But there is still a way, but it will be very, very hard because there is still the grab.
More camels coming in, more camels coming in.
What I say, there are a little bit tight in the units, but they get a lot of camels, a lot of fuels, so that means they get very bigger units than Odin's.
How many camels are on point? This is ridiculous.
It's Camel Wars.
It's Camel Wars. Camel Blade, that's what we're going to call the game. Camel Blade. What is this? This is ridiculous.
I think we're gonna say well played to Odin'sLegion. That's gonna do some nightmares about camels going on the final point.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna make a meme about this with so many camels. Just look at them. Everybody just has the 2 ability, and you can just see the camels just going in circles. I really gotta give it to Odin here. They did some good defenses and everything on this map, but SerfSlayers really organizing it really well. Each push. Oh.
I believed. I did believe. I did. I wanted to believe. I saw the first part of the game. I saw like Odin'sLegion defending point C, 1k.4 units, while SerfSlayers had less units. I was like, yes, they can make it. They can make it. And that was so tough, so intense. 2 times the defense on C and the defense on base point, and so many camel lancers.
It's very sad for Odin'sLegion right now. I don't know what to say. Just sad for them because I'll get a lot of rain inside of Odin'sLegion. Well played to SerfSlayers. If you look at the post analytics, because we can look at the different peak of the battle. The first one is clearly at the advantage of Odin'sLegion. That's managed to do very good fight. And the second one is it's when it's starting very bad for them because of the cav, because there were a lot of cav from SerfSlayers, and after the cav, SerfSlayers do what they did very good. The World Tournaments, they set up the halberdiers, they set up the Star Wars, they set up the camels, and you cannot come back on the position. When SerfSlayers say it's my home, when they took the house, it's finished. You cannot come back on the position.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for this Legion trying to come back with the scav on this position. And honestly, when you're looking at the final results, it's very sad because you see a 3-0, but clearly today Odin'sLegion is really the